The need for donors has never been greater. One donor can give life to several people and restore the sight of 2 more. Right now, more than 8,000 people in the UK need an organ transplant, and every year around 400 people die while waiting. There is a critical shortage of organs, and the gap between the number of organs donated and the number of people waiting for a transplant is increasing. What is your job title within the hospital?
I'm a consultant kidney doctor. We also call consultant nephrologists. So I'm a senior doctor who looks after people who've got different types of kidney problems.
I'm a consultant hepatologist, and I am part of the transplant hepatology team. Hepatology is the study of liver disease, so I'm involved in liver transplantation.
What is transplantation?
So transplantation is removing a diseased organ from the body of a patient and surgically replacing it with an organ from a healthy individual who doesn't have any disease specific to that organ.
How would someone be an organ donor?
Well, there's 2 major routes to becoming an organ donor. The best known route is to carry an organ donor card that you can register for, and to be sure that you let your family members know that you're carrying that card, clearly expressing your wishes to them. The second way, and this applies in the main to kidney transplantation, less so to liver transplantation, but increasingly to liver transplantation, is through living kidney donation or living liver donation, where you have somebody who's close to you, who has failure of the kidney or failure of the liver, and where you choose to donate one of your kidneys or you choose to donate part of your liver to that person. One of the key points is that if you ask somebody whether they would want a transplant if they needed one, 95% of people would say yes. But if you ask people if they would genuinely donate, if they were in a position where they could donate, only about 70% of the population say yes. And it's bridging that gap. It's getting to the situation where all of us understand that we need to be able to give if we have a system which allows us to take.
How would more organ donors help?
We currently have a huge number of patients on the waiting list who will unfortunately die, and indeed in Birmingham our what we call our waiting list mortality, as in the number of patients dying on the waiting list, is probably in the range of 1 in 5. And so therefore we are in desperate need of increasing organs. The other thing to say is that in the United Kingdom especially, but we are facing more and more liver deaths in younger and younger patients. And so therefore the need for organ transplantation is going to increase throughout the next 20, 30 years. And yet we do not have the donor supply to meet that need.
In your opinion, how could organ donation be promoted more effectively?
I think the most important way is to firstly educate people in the community, but secondly to reinforce that education. Whenever you can't move things forward in life, where you step back, there's a logical need for whatever you want to progress. It usually sits because people have a lack of knowledge about a subject or an area, so they can't see the benefits in it. So the first and most important thing is having a systematic education program at a community level. The second thing is the concept of will you take an organ? Because if you agree that you'll take an organ, then it becomes self-evident that if you're ever in a position to give an organ, you should be signed up for that. And I think there's been a major opportunity missed in the UK and other countries in the Western world.
I think we need to educate the public about what organ donation is. We need to educate the public more about why people need organs. I think we need to educate the public more about there is an increasing demand out there that's not being met with an increasing supply, and that there are people dying on the waiting list all the time. I think we also need to let the public know how life-changing transplantation is, and that is critical as well.
This is a liver patient at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Birmingham. He has had 2 liver transplants and is now waiting for a third. Do you think there are enough people registered as organ donors?
No, I don't think there is. No, I think we certainly need more.
How has transplantation changed your life?
Quite dramatically, really. I had my first one when I was 34. Big shock. Don't expect to be that ill at that age. I've had that, and so certainly dominates your life. Yeah, certainly dominates your thoughts. Yeah.
Transplants are a miracle achievement of modern medicine, but they depend entirely on the generosity of donors and their families who are willing to make this life-saving gift to others.